The great council chamber was one of the largest rooms in the galaxy. Its ceiling was so high that the lights disappeared into the shadows above. Hundreds of alien flags floated in glowing circles. Every species, from the smallest insect-like diplomats to giant armored creatures, had a seat here. Today was supposed to be a peaceful meeting. Today was supposed to be the day humanity accepted the Council's demands, but nothing went as planned. Ambassador Rian Hale sat calmly in his chair. His hands folded, watching the long table of alien leaders arguing among themselves. He did not speak. He did not move. He only listened. His dark human eyes studied every face, every gesture, every whisper. Behind him, the human delegation remained silent, waiting for their leader's signal. Across the table, the council's high speaker, a tall four-armed alien named Salunus, slammed his staff on the floor. "You must accept our terms," Salunus said, his voice echoing through every corner of the chamber. "Humanity has grown too fast. You must limit your fleet size. You must reduce your weapons. And most of all, you must pay compensation to the Council worlds. Your expansion has frightened many." Many aliens nodded. Some whispered in agreement. A few smiled, believing this day would end with humans kneeling. Rian Hale said nothing. Salunus continued. "If you refuse, the Council will take action. You are surrounded by our allies. You cannot win a war. So choose wisely, human." There it was. The threat humanity had known it was coming. The Council had been pushing for months, trying to force humans into accepting control. They feared humanity's strength. They feared human unity. They feared that the youngest spacefaring species might become the strongest. Rian slowly exhaled. He finally understood the truth. This meeting was not a negotiation. It was a trap. The Council wanted power, not peace. He leaned back in his chair and watched Salunus speak with pride and arrogance. The alien believed he had one. He believed humanity would bow or break. He believed humans would argue, beg, or fight. But Rian knew something the Council did not. Humans do not bend under pressure. Humans do not respond to threats. Humans choose their own path. Rian stood up quietly. The moment he moved, the entire room fell silent. Hundreds of alien eyes focused on him. The council members froze, confused. Humans were supposed to stay seated during the high speaker's speech. No one ever stood at this moment. But Rian Hale stood tall and calm. He raised a single hand. Behind him, all the human representatives stood at the exact same time. Every chair slid back. Every diplomat rose, silent and steady. They formed a perfect line behind their ambassador. Salunus's voice cracked. "What are you doing?" Rian did not answer. He looked at Salunus with a calm expression, not angry, not afraid, just done. "No further words," Rian said. His voice was soft but strong enough to fill the chamber. "Humanity refuses your terms." That sentence hit the room like a meteor. Several council members gasped. Others shouted. A few slammed their hands on the table. One alien fainted. Salunus's forearms shook. "You cannot leave," Salunus yelled. "This meeting is not finished." Rian turned away from him. He did not shout. He did not argue. He simply walked, and that one action changed everything. When the humans turned toward the exit, every alien in the chamber felt the same cold fear spread through their bodies. The council was used to power. They were used to controlling negotiations. But humans, these unpredictable, determined beings, were walking out with complete confidence. No threats. No warnings. No fear, only silence. The sound of their footsteps echoed loudly, almost painfully, through the hall. Each step felt like a countdown. Each step felt like something terrible was coming. No one in the council dared to move. Many felt their hearts pounding. Others felt their skin turning cold. "Stop. You must stop," Salunus shouted. But his voice was trembling now. Rian did not look back. The chamber doors opened automatically with a deep metallic hum. The humans walked out as one strong unit and disappeared through the doorway. The doors closed behind them with a heavy boom. Silence total. Crushing silence. For several seconds, the council members stared at the empty space where the humans had stood. No one understood what was coming next. No one knew why the humans walked away so quietly. No one had ever left the council like this before. A thin, insect-like diplomat whispered, "What have we done?" A reptilian ambassador stood up slowly, panic rising in his voice. Humans walked out without arguing. That is not normal. That is not diplomacy. That is a message. Another alien added, "They have ended negotiations. They are preparing something." Fear spread like wildfire across the room. Some believed humanity was about to attack. Others thought humans might form alliances with rival species. A few began sending secret messages to their homeworlds, warning of a possible human retaliation. Salunus dropped his staff. For the first time in years, the High Speaker felt powerless. This cannot be happening," he whispered. But it was. The human walkout was not a defeat. It was a declaration that humans would not bow, a declaration that humans would not be controlled, a declaration that humanity chooses its own destiny. Behind the sealed doors, alarms began ringing across the council planet. Reports of human fleet movements started to appear on screens. No one knew if it was real or just panic, but the damage was done. Humanity had walked out, and the stars would never be the same again. The council chamber did not return to normal after the humans walked out. It could not. The silence that filled the room after the giant metal doors closed felt heavier than gravity. No one dared to breathe too loudly. No one dared to stand. Every alien leader understood the truth with painful clarity. The humans were not afraid. But the council was. Salunus, the High Speaker, slowly lowered himself into his seat. His forearms trembled and his voice shook like a child's. They cannot just leave," he whispered. "Humans cannot simply walk away." But they already had. A slim, feathered diplomat named Larissa spoke first. Her voice was sharp, almost cracking under stress. "We have forced them for months. We pushed too hard. We tried to control them, and now they have ended the talks. This is our fault." Another ambassador, a massive stone-skinned creature named Vrogan, slammed his fist on the table. Cracks formed in the polished metal. "This is not our fault." Vrogan growled. "Humans are unpredictable. They should have stayed. They should have accepted the terms." Several council members flinched. Vrogan's voice was loud, but the fear behind it was louder. A small, rodent-like alien squeaked. "Do you think they will attack?" The room turned cold. No one answered. The council chamber, once a symbol of unity, now felt like a cage. Everyone sensed danger closing in. No one knew what humanity's silence meant. No one understood what the walkout symbolized. They only felt the rising panic inside their chest. Across the room, large holographic screens flickered to life. The council intelligence team had begun sending alerts. Red warnings flashed in strange patterns. Unconfirmed, human fleet movement detected. Cryptid message traffic spike from human colonies. Border sensors. Show silence, no communication from human space. No one knew if these were real or imagined, but fear did not care. Fear only grows. Lyrasaw stood up. "We need to reopen contact. Immediately, before this becomes worse," Rogan glared. "And show weakness? Absolutely not. If we call them back, the humans will think we fear them." A thin, pale reptile hissed, "We do fear them," and he nodded. A few looked away in shame. For years, the council treated humanity as a young, reckless species. But now they realized how wrong they were. Humans did not grow slower than others. Humans did not hesitate like others. Humans adapted. Humans united. Humans evolved, and now humans had walked out without a single sign of fear. "We must not panic," Saluna said weakly. "We are the council. We hold the power." But even he did not believe his own words. An alarm suddenly blared in the chamber. The screens changed again, displaying a new message. "Urgent. all contact with the human embassy terminated. The room exploded into chaos. Dozens of diplomats shouted over each other. Some demanded war preparation. Others begged for peace. A few tried to leave the room, desperate to send warnings to their home planets. "It is too late," one yelled. "They are already planning something." "No, we need to send a message of peace. We should apologize. We should prepare defenses. They will strike first." "No, they will negotiate again." Voices crashed like storms. Fear turned into panic. Panic turned into chaos. The Galactic Council, the most powerful political force in known space, was breaking apart in real time. Meanwhile, far from the shouting crowd, a quiet group of advisors huddled around a small communication table. They spoke softly, almost whispering. "Humans never leave without a plan," one said. "They only show this much silence before a major decision. They have strong weapons. They have strong minds. Do not bluff." The advisors all knew the truth. If humanity decided the council was no longer trustworthy, they would act on their own terms, not with rage, not with fear, but with purpose. Back in the chamber, Salunus clutched his head with two of his hands. He had lost control. The meeting he believed he dominated had slipped out of his fingers. The power he thought he had was nothing but an illusion. He stared at the chamber doors where the humans had walked out. Why? Why did they leave? Salunus whispered. Why no threat? Why no negotiation? A voice behind him answered, Because they do not need to explain themselves. The council turned. It was the elder of the Varan species, one of the oldest members of the galaxy. He rarely spoke, but when he did, everyone listened. The elder continued, his voice calm and cold. Humans are not like us. They do not shout when they are angry. They do not beg when they are cornered. They do not cry when they are threatened. So what do? Salunus asked. They act. Those two words sent chills through every diplomat in the room. The elder finished, Their silence is more dangerous than our armies. As evening fell on the council world, fear spread far beyond the chamber. News agencies reported rumors of human ships vanishing from long-range scans. Civilian population centers received emergency messages. Military bases prepared for unknown signals. Everywhere, people whispered, What will humans do? But no answer came. No message. No warning. No explanation. Humanity had fallen silent, and the galaxy had never felt more afraid. Inside the council chamber, the elder stood alone at the center. The other diplomats were still arguing, still afraid, still lost. He looked toward the closed doors and spoke quietly. Almost to himself, the humans did not walk out of a meeting. They walked into a new future. One they will shape, with or without us. Council, finally realizing their mistake, prepared for a long, dark night filled with fear and uncertainty. Humanity had not attacked. Humanity had not spoken, but their silence was enough. The galaxy understood. A storm was coming, and humans would decide when it arrived. Us. The human delegation walked through the long silver hallway of the council building without saying a word. Their steps were steady, calm, almost silent. To anyone watching, they looked peaceful. But inside their minds, each one of them understood exactly what had happened in that chamber. Humanity had reached its limit. Ambassador. Rionhel paused at the exit gate. He looked at the stars outside the tall glass windows. Billions of lights. Billions of worlds. Billions of voices. And yet, none of them understood humanity. Not yet. Behind him, human team waited. Rion finally spoke, his voice calm and clear. Activate return protocol. We leave council space at once. Yes, sir. One diplomat replied and tapped his wrist pad. For the council, the walkout felt like the end of peace. For humans, it was simply the end of disrespect. Far across the city, the council chamber was still shaking from chaos. Alarms had spread to government districts. The planet's sky was full of flashing lights and rushing ships. Everyone believed something terrible was about to happen, and all because of one action. Humans walked out. Inside a secure room connected to the chamber, the Council's intelligence officers worked at full speed. Dozens of holograms floated in the air, showing human fleet locations, communication movements, and energy signatures. A young officer shouted, "Sensor blackout in 5 human sectors." Another yelled, "Human fleet repositioning, confirm no details yet." A third screamed, "They are going silent." Completely silent. Silence was the thing that scared them most. When the Council threatened other species, those species always begged, argued, or panicked loudly. But humans? Humans responded differently. Humans went quiet, and everyone knew what followed. Meanwhile, the Elder Varen walked alone through the chamber floor, ignoring the shouting around him. His ancient eyes looked calm, as if he had seen this moment long ago. Salunas hurried toward him, panic shaking all 4 of his arms. "Elder, you must help. You must tell us what to do," Salunas cried. "We need to calm humanity. We cannot allow war. We cannot allow." The Elder raised his hand, and Salunas fell silent immediately. "High Speaker," the Elder said softly, "you still do not understand. Humans did not walk out because they want war. They walked out because they finally saw the Council's true face." Salunas swallowed hard. "We were only trying to control them. And now they know," the Elder replied. "You pushed them. You underestimated them. You treated them like a young species. But they are not young. Not anymore," Salunas whispered. "What will they do?" The Elder looked at the stars through the chamber window. "That," he said, "depends on their answer, and I do not think we will like it." On the human starship Resolute, the delegation entered the command room. Screens displayed their flight path back to human territory. Crew members stood ready, waiting for orders. Rian Hale took the central chair. His voice remained steady. "Open secure channel to Earth Command." A hologram appeared. "Commander Adrienne Locke, a strong woman with silver streaks in her hair." "Report," she said. Rian replied, "Talks have failed." The Council attempted to force compliance, threatened action. "So we walked out." Commander Locke nodded slowly. "Expected. Their fear grows each cycle." "What are your orders?" Rian asked. The commander leaned forward. "Do nothing." The entire human delegation looked surprised. Rian frowned. "Nothing?" "Yes," Commander Locke said. "Nothing is our answer. Nothing is our message. Let them sit in the silence they created. Let them fear their own thoughts. Humans do not need to strike. We only need to show we are not afraid." Rian understood immediately. Silence was their weapon. Strength was their calm. Unity was their shield. Back at the Council world, the panic reached its peak. Fleets were placed on standby. Emergency lights shone across every building. News networks broadcast rumors of a massive human attack forming beyond the border. Species who once mocked humanity now begged for protection. Others prepared to surrender preemptively. Fear ruled every hall, every ship, every home. Finally, the Council voted to send a message. A single-line message. "We request immediate communication with the human ambassador." They waited minutes, then hours, then more. No reply. The fear deepened. It was not until the next morning that a small signal appeared on their communication network. It was weak, almost like a whisper. Every council leader rushed to the main screen when they heard it. A hologram of Rian Hale appeared. No army behind him. No threats. No weapons. Just him. The council held their breath. Rian spoke calmly, like a teacher explaining a simple truth. Humanity does not respond to pressure. You attempted to force us. You attempted to shape us. You attempted to treat us as your lesser. His eyes narrowed slightly. We walked out because respect was lost. The entire chamber went still. Rian continued, "We do not seek war, but we also do not serve the Council's demands. When fairness returns, and only when respect returns, humanity will return." And then, like a quiet storm passing over a silent ocean, he spoke the final line. "Until then, humanity walks alone." The message ended, and with that, the fear inside the chamber reached its peak. But so did understanding. The Council finally realized humans were not dangerous because of their weapons. Humans were dangerous because of their will. Across the galaxy, the message spread like lightning. Some species cheered humanity's strength. Others trembled, afraid of what silence could bring. But all of them learned one simple truth. Do not corner a species whose greatest power is their unity. Do not threaten a species whose strength is their heart. Do not push humanity, because when humans walk away, the galaxy follows.